Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And also to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Shalom. So basically, this is going to be just a quick lesson through the Spirit, okay, touching on really, measuring the times that we are in, okay, and being more spiritual awareness, okay, when it comes to us that has been called in the faith, and that's part of this ministry, okay, hopefully to be chosen, okay, us are the hopeful elect, okay, because we know that when we coming in the time, the downfall of the biblical Edomites, the so-called white race, as it prophesied, okay, leading to the downfall of this place, okay, their kingdom, America, okay, ultimately going into destruction, okay, we seeing now, okay, as we about to witness now, a financial crash, okay, dealing with this place, going into inflation, hyperinflation, okay, job losses, certain aids and benefits being cut, under Trump, and we coming to the time of eventually, this place about to witness uproars of the people, okay, division, civil unrest, okay, civil war, race wars, class wars, okay, the coming of martial law, detention centers, okay, pestilence, famine, okay, all this is prophesied against this place, America, okay, excuse me for that, and eventually this place, okay, is going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear missiles at the peak of the Third World War, okay, also leading to the time of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, okay, second coming, by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs. Yahweh Shai has come back to wage war against these heathen nations and bringing destruction to this place, America. And out of the destruction, okay, the Lord only going to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, which were considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved. Because 2/3, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, gonna be cut off and judged, okay, at this time, okay, when it comes to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those that descended out of that bloodline here in America, okay, when it comes to them, their judgment, okay, due to their non-belief, not repenting, not acknowledging the prophets or the prophecies, okay, but trusting in this place, okay, trusting in these false gods, idol worship, going after heathenistic customs, okay, and now we're at the time mainly as well. We at the break, okay, of this economy about to crash, and eventually these elites of Esau Edom, these central bankers, ready to implement Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, the MOTB, okay, which is known as the mark of the beast, or on the RFID microchip that's going to replace the physical dollar, man. Okay, as we come into a cashless society, okay, but we see us that's in the faith, okay, when it comes to the average Negro, Latino, and Native American, okay, and people of the world, okay, they don't know the times that we're coming into, okay, even though these things are on the horizon, But no, we also in the time of a lot of more and more distractions, man. Okay, we just now had the government opening back up. People receiving certain benefits such as food stamps. Okay, EBT. Certain aids. Okay, certain government um funding. Okay, they're being presented to them now since the government opened back up. Okay, yeah, but now you got the latest. The whole Epstein list about to be revealed. Okay, a lot of distractions, man. Okay, yeah, we coming to more and more of the holiday season. Okay, the festivities. Okay, such as the coming of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah, the entertainment. Okay, when it comes to the sports. Okay, we coming in time of the more and more in the NFL. College football. Okay, college basketball. Okay, the NBA starting back up. Okay, or the latest trend, the latest fashion, the latest entertainment when it comes to the music or movies. Okay, which all of it is on a decline. Okay, but just as it was in ancient Rome. Okay, we have the term bread and circus, because during the time of ancient Rome, which America is ancient Rome coming back into power again, up under Edomites. Okay, spiritually. Okay, but during the time of ancient Rome, okay, before its downfall, okay, the economy was on declining. Okay, um, then you had the bread and circus. Okay, when it comes to the Colosseums, the gladiators. Okay, like I said, the modern day, sports or entertainment will be your bread and circus. Okay, Rome at that time was more and more at war. Okay, with the surrounding nations during that time, just as America on the verge of more and more fun and war. Okay, and so the whole point of this lesson is to stay focused on prophecies, man, and the measuring the times, man. Okay, and when it comes to people that hearing about the Hebrew Israelites, which lately a lot of people they scoffing and scorning, getting on social media, okay, trying to debunk the Hebrew Israelites, okay, but it ain't gonna be no excuse, cause Yahweh Shema Shah has set up the prophets, man, to give that forewarning before all hell break loose, man. Okay, and while majority of our people are comfortable here, okay, and thinking that this government gonna benefit them, man. But let me go ahead and get into the scriptures. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But the times and the seasons, brethren, ye had no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, when it comes to what the prophecies, man. Okay, coming unaware to majority of our people. Okay, in the world that don't have the understanding of the scriptures, man, and measuring the times through prophecies, man. Okay, but us that's in the faith, us are the hopeful elect, we're measuring the times, okay, through the scriptures, okay, and listen to the men that Yahweh Shema Shah set up through the Spirit, okay, which eventually showing more and more the men of great millstone and the brother on down, okay, that's out there constantly teaching the word in all truth and sincerity, man, okay, the correct way. Because at this time as well, you got a lot of false prophets amongst Israel that misleading their congregation, okay, want to be comfortable here in America, okay, taking the word of the Lord and making it merchandise, okay, such as IUIC, ISUPK, the latest Genesis, okay, or Sakari, okay, the former members Sakari or Shakari, the head Alazar, okay, and a lot of other these camps that using the word of the Lord, okay, uh, for um for self gain, monetary gain, if not monetary gain, to be seen of men for fame, okay, for on the recognition and all that, self glorifying, okay, And you know, a lot of these camps are not giving that warning. And we're approaching Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Yeah, a lot of these camps not teaching about Jacob's trouble, that we come into those times, man. Okay? But us are the hopeful elect, okay, the eventually elect, we preparing ourselves, man. Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, so now we're at the time, but even though this place is on its downfall, and we seeing the true intentions of Esau, Edom, these elites, through their government officials, okay, in particular here in America, through Trump and American policies, okay, bringing more strict legislations, more executive orders. But at the same time, they saying it's going to be peace and safety, okay? But according to the scriptures, okay, destruction is coming, okay? When it comes by the way of the prophets out there giving that warning to you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? So we ain't in the time of peace and safety or comfortability, okay? We coming in the time of trouble, okay? Once again, Jacob's trouble, okay? Let's get this. Let me see. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I had told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and aren't we seeing that? Earthquakes, okay, natural disasters, okay, uh, hurricanes. Okay, you just had Jamaica got hit with a hurricane about a couple of weeks ago. Okay, we're coming in a time of droughts as we're entering the time of the fall and the winter. Okay, that's gonna lead to a famine. Okay, severe cold weather. Okay, and at the same time, you know, the coming of more pestilence, famine. Okay, as I say, because this is the time the Lord is visiting the earth, which He made. Okay, uproars of the people, civil unrest, okay, division, okay, the Third World War, okay, and it says, give me a minute. That's a lot for that. And like I've been saying, you know, hey, measuring the times, man, okay, that we're coming into, okay, as I gave a couple of examples before, you know, the interruption, okay, but let me go back into it. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 4. Then shall thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an and the end is manifest. Hey, so there's being manifest. Okay? When it comes to the downfall of this place, America, as it prophesied, and the downfall of Esau, Edom, okay? Leading to Yahweh Shai, okay, bringing, issuing the kingdom of Israel, okay? As it says in Second Ezra chapter 6, starting at verse 6, okay, throughout 9, how it says that Esau, Edom is the end of the world, okay, going into an end of an age or rulership, okay, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, going into when Yahweh shall return to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel and establish the kingdom of Israel here on the earth, which is going to be our rulership or age to rule, and it's going to be an everlasting kingdom, okay, in our land, okay, which by the way, the land of Israel is going to be cleansed by the way of missiles, okay, by the hands of Russia, you know, mainly, okay, because the people that's over there, okay, are not the true inheritors of that land, okay, which we know they stole that land going back to 1948, and not keep it like that, okay, when it comes to the Edomites, okay, and that land gonna be cleansed just for us to rightfully own our land again, and through Yahweh, the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, and us ruling in our land, the heathen nations gonna build our land up, okay, they're gonna go into captivity, okay, they're gonna be subject unto us, man, okay, modern or lamest term or modern term, slaves, man, or slavery. Okay, that's their future. Okay, and us ruling over them. But now becoming the time of the Yahweh Shema Shai being manifest. Okay, when it comes to this place, America, destruction and the downfall of Esau, Edom, and the salvation of the elect. And it says, verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonderful and wonder and powerful works, in this in effect and signs. Okay, the prophecies, man. Okay, that's stated here in the scriptures, that's being announced or pre-announced or announced by the way of the prophets, man. Okay, and only the elect is going to take heed. Now let's get this on. Let me get this Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the towers, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Okay, another way saying a prophet, which the word prophet or prophecy mean to say before. Okay, and another way saying a prophet is a watchman or a seer. Okay, able to interpret these scriptures, and us that has been called to go out there to the highways and byways and doing lessons. Okay, by the way of the internet, giving that warning. Okay, as we on our watch or on our post, looking at the current news that's going on in the world. Okay, and extrapolating or interpreted through the scriptures. Okay, verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, okay, the prophecies, okay, and make it plain upon tables. Okay, the tables represent the prophecies of the holy scriptures. Okay, that he may runneth that readeth it, going into the prophets that have been called, or us that has been called eventually to know this truth, to go out and teach and give that warning. Okay, and doing lessons. And it says, for the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay, so it ain't tarrying anymore. Okay, when it comes to these prophecies, man. Okay, like I said, we in the time of the downfall of this place. But at the same time, we got a lot of distractions. Okay, they're having these people comfortable here. Even though the majority is Americans, they feeling it now, feeling the squeeze, the financial squeeze, feeling being uncomfortable. Okay, they wait to more and more. Okay, when prophecies more and more come to pass. Okay, leading to all hell breaking loose in this place, man. Okay, now let's get this on. Second Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. For many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, especially these Americans, man. Okay, starting with you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay, and these heathen nations. Okay, they're walking in great pride. Okay, um, but great misery is coming. Okay, to you Americans. Okay, and when it comes to the elect, although we have to go through it, okay, us are the hopeful elect. Okay, because the scripture says, through much trials and tribulations shall we enter into the kingdom. Okay, leading to salvation. Okay, being delivered, and ultimately the kingdom. Okay, we being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. Okay, when it comes to us, that Lord will all us of the elect, hopeful elect, that are doing to the end, that the Lord deliver us. Okay, but we know during the process of Jacob's trouble, the Lord going to be with his servants. Okay, the Lord said servants going to eat, drink, okay, rejoice, be sheltered, be covered. Okay, the Lord going to be performing miracles. Okay, having that spiritual guide through the angels to help guide us. Okay, spiritual power when it comes to certain men. Okay, and but when it comes to the believers being delivered of the elect. Okay, and so the Lord going to be our covering. Okay, in the times of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, start with knowing this word. Okay, Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. For wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time. Okay, the strength of our salvation. Okay, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay, and so serving Yahweh Shema Shai and believing. Okay, and doing, man. Okay, verse 51. But understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Yeah, and that's ultimately the elect. Okay, okay, when it comes to the elect, when it comes to the teachings that Yahweh Shema Shai, the teachers that Yahweh Shema Shai set up, okay, to teach this word, truth, in all truth and sincerity, man. Okay, that's when to gather the elect. Okay, our only concern is of the elect. Okay, the reach the elect. Pray that we part of that number. Okay, ourselves individual, and those that be gathered. Okay, in His faith. Okay, and doing this part of this work and believing. Okay, because only the elect is going to be delivered at this time. 2/3, like I say, going to be cut off and judged. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And they're going to have to come back in the kingdom, being sons and daughters of the elect. Okay, which is reincarnation. Okay, in the heathen nations, there's no salvation for these heathen nations, man. Okay, they're going to be judged. Okay, and those that perish on this side, they're going to come back in the kingdom through their bloodline. Okay, like I said, because you're going to have heathen nations that can remain, starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, that they're going to be in their retreats just to be reserved for captivity. Okay, and they're going to be the first ones to go into captivity. Okay, but the heathen nations that perish on this side, okay, they're going to come back through their bloodline, okay, reincarnated or being born sons and daughters to be servants unto us, man. Okay, that's their future. And they're going to have to be subject unto us. We're going to rule over them. Okay, but the point is, here in verse 50, for many great miseries, okay, shall come. Okay, and we're in those times now. Let me get this and I'll, probably get ready to close. Let me see. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore he say, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. Okay, majority of our people are spiritually sleep. Okay, a spiritual slumber. Okay, even though we telling them that they the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, okay, when it comes to these false identities, you're not Negroes, you're not African Americans. Okay, you're not Native Americans or Seminole Indians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. Okay, or Brazilians, okay, or Haitians, or Jamaicans, okay, those false identities, okay, that you're the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, okay, for your respective tribe, okay, through the spirit and through your, the bloodline, okay, and that the Lord only dealing with Israel when it comes to salvation, okay, mainly the elect at the time, man, okay, but a lot of our people are still spiritually dead, want to hold on to the false identity and the false culture that come with it, or want to serve these false gods and different sects of religion, such as Christianity, Roman Catholicism, Islam, okay? People that's into Egyptology, Africa panism, okay? And now it done got so bad, a lot of our people into Baphomet, Satanism, okay? Atheists, okay? Witchcraft, voodoo, okay? Because they're spiritually dead, okay? And it says, and Yahweh shall give thee light. And the only way they can wake up out of that madness, okay, mainly the elect, okay, is through Yahweh giving them the light, which represent the truth, okay? Turning on that spiritual light bulb, man, okay? As us that's in the faith that once been part of the world or believing in these false gods, these different sets of religions, going after these hedonistic customs, okay? But now we come to the understanding, okay, repenting and coming back acknowledging Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, our true and the heritage, man. And the times that we in when it comes to prophecies, okay, that now we are awakened, okay. Now we have the understanding. Seeing then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Okay, circumspectly means to be aware of, to look around. Okay, how we do that? By measuring the times when it comes to the scriptures, when it comes to current events. Okay, and relating them back into prophecies, man. Okay, seeing then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. They're evil, mean bad times. Okay, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Okay, Yahweh Shem Shah will. And the Lord will is to bring great destruction to this place, America, man. And great miseries once again. Okay, amongst these heathen nations. Okay. And at this time, 2/3 of our people. Okay. So us are the elect or the hopeful elect. We preparing ourselves for the times to knowing the will of the Lord, that time of evil. Okay, is all upon us, man. Or upon the earth. And once again, the Lord visiting the earth. Okay. Let me get this and I'll get ready to close. Hey, so majority of people that scoff and scorn and putting the day of the Lord off, okay, or these false prophets that teaching false doctrines, okay, just let it be, man. Okay, we working on our own salvation with fear and trembling when it comes to us of the hopeful elect and knowing the times that we're in, man. Okay, let's get this. Hey, cause once the elect is fully sealed, according to Revelation chapter 7, hey, that's it for this place of miracle. Okay, and for Esau, Edom, and these heathens, and 2/3 of our people. Okay, when it comes to the Lord bringing judgment. Let's get this. Romans 13 and 11. Romans chapter 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. Okay? So our salvation is nearer than what we believe. And we know that through the prophecies, man. Okay, the signs. Okay? Knowing the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? So for certain individuals, like I say, they probably still asleep. But once the Lord fully wake up the elect, okay, that's it. And when it comes to us that have woken to this truth, it's all about endurance, okay, and constantly measuring the times, okay, watching, as the scripture says, watch as well as pray, okay, watching, praying, fasting, studying, okay, constantly, seeking and believing in Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, as we preparing ourselves for the times ahead, man, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that the lesson will edify to next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.